Hello aspirants, welcome to GEM Mentors. Today, that is 30th June 2026, let us discuss some important current affairs and static MCQs. The first question, which of the following best explains process heat in the context of hydrogen production? The correct answer is answer B, option B, high temperature heat used in industrial processes. The high temperature used in industrial processes, the process heat refers to the high temperature thermal energy required in industries such as steel, cement, fertilizers, chemicals, glass and refineries. Green hydrogen is being promoted as a clean fuel to replace coal and natural gas for generating this heat, helping industries reduce carbon emissions. Okay, let's move to the second question. Which ministry is the nodal ministry for the MSME sector in India? Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So the Ministry of MSME is the nodal ministry responsible for promoting, developing and regulating the MSME sector. It implements schemes related to credit support, skill development, technology upgradation and entrepreneurship. Let's move to the third question. Consider the following statements about geographical indication tags. A. GI tag is valid indefinitely once granted. GI tags protect products linked to a specific geographical region. Which of the statements is or are correct? So let's look at the statements. The first one is wrong. Second one, GI tags protect products linked to a specific geographical region. This is correct. Okay. So GI tag, whenever it is given, it is valid for 10 years from the date of registration and it can be renewed. So the first statement is incorrect. Second statement is, that is right. GI tags protect products whose quality, reputation or characteristics are essentially linked to a specific geographical region. Example, Darjeeling tea, Pochampalli ikat, Tirupati laddu, etc. Okay. Let's move to the fourth question. The National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB, functions under which ministry? That is Ministry of Home Affairs. The NCRB, the National Crime Records Bureau, functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So it maintains national crime databases. Publishes annual Crime in India report and manages systems such as Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and Systems, that is CCTNS. Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and Systems. Okay, let's move to the fifth question. Which constitutional provision deals with the distribution of GST revenue between the center and the states? That is Article 246A. It empowers Parliament and state legislatures to make laws relating to GST. So to trick you while answering this question, just remember Article 246A is power to make GST laws, and Article 269A, that is levy and distribution of IGST, and Article 270 is distribution of GST revenue between the center and states. Okay, along with 246A, 269A is there, 270 is there. Okay, this one is levy and distribution. And this one is distribution of GST between center and states. All right. Let's move to the sixth question. Which institution is responsible for declaring the official consumer price index CPI inflation in India? That is NSO. Okay. The NSO under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation releases the consumer price index, that is CPI, which measures retail inflation. The RBI uses CPI data for monetary policy decision. Okay. So RBI uses this report. Seventh question, the term green hydrogen refers to hydrogen produced using what? That is renewable energy and powered electrolysis. This is the answer. So green hydrogen is produced by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Through electrolysis, you know that, using electricity generated from renewable sources such as solar, wind energy. Since no fossil fuels are used, carbon emissions are negligible. Okay. That's why it's a clean energy. Eighth question, which one of the following is not a kharif crop? Paddy is a kharif crop, cotton is a kharif crop, and soybean is a kharif crop. Mustard is not a kharif crop, it is a rabi crop. So it is grown during the winter season. Kharif crops are, you know that, paddy, cotton, soybean, maize, rabi crops. Rabi crops are wheat, mustard, gram, barley. These are rabi crops. Okay, let's move to the next question. Ninth one, which organization releases the Global Innovation Index? That is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. So the Global Innovation Index is published annually by the World Intellectual Property Organization. It measures countries' innovation performance based on the indicators such as research, education, infrastructure, and technology. Okay. The 10th question, the headquarters of the International Court of Justice ICJ is located in The Hague, Netherlands. You know that. So it's a judicial organ of the United Nations which is headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands. It settles legal disputes between sovereign states and gives advisory opinions to the UN bodies. Okay. Let's move to the 11th question. Which schedule of the Constitution lists subjects allocated to panchayats? 11th question. Which schedule of the Constitution lists subjects allocated to panchayats? What is the answer? 11th schedule. So it was added through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. It contains 29 subjects that can be devolved to panchayats, including agriculture, rural housing, drinking water, roads, and rural development. Okay. The 12th question, which one of the following is a direct tax? Very easy question. If your basic economy is clear, strong, you can answer this. Okay. 12th question is a direct tax. They are asking for the direct tax. Income tax is the direct tax. This is indirect. Okay. So income tax is a direct tax, meaning it is paid directly by the individuals or organizations to the government. So indirect taxes include GST, customs duty, and excise duty, where the tax burden can be passed on to the consumers. Okay. Let's move to the 13th question. Consider the following. El Nino generally weakens the Indian monsoon. La Nina generally strengthens the Indian monsoon. Which statement is correct? Okay. So El Nino generally weakens the Indian Ocean monsoon. That is right. And La Nina generally strengthens the Indian monsoon. That is correct. Okay. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Let's see. Though El Nino, it is associated with warmer than normal Pacific Ocean. So temperatures and generally weakens the Indian southwest monsoon. In case of La Nina, It is associated with the cooler than the normal Pacific Ocean temperatures and generally strengthens the Indian monsoon. Okay, that's the difference. 14th question, which institution is known as the lender of the last resort in India? RBI. Okay, whenever you see this lender of the last resort, simply you can mark the answer as RBI. So it is called as the lender of the last resort because it provides emergency financial assistance to commercial banks facing temporary liquidity shortages. Okay, so thereby maintaining the confidence in the banking system. So it is the lender of the last resort. RBI is the lender of the last resort. 15th question, which fundamental duty asks citizens to protect the natural environment? Which one? 51AG, Article 51AG. So it's a fundamental duty of every citizen to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and to have compassion for the living creatures. Okay. Let's move to the 16th question. The blue economy is primarily associated with what? So we have discussed it previously in the previous session slides. Sustainable use of ocean resources. Okay. So sustainable use of ocean resources while conserving the marine ecosystems. It includes fisheries, maritime, transport, offshore renewable energy, okay, coastal tourism and marine biotechnology. And marine biotechnology. Okay. 17th question, which one of the following is a biosphere reserve in India? Easy question. So it's a national park. Corbett is a national park. Gir National Park, Gir Sanctuary or Gir National Park. So Nilgiri is the biosphere reserve in India. Nilgiri. Okay. This is the answer. 18th question, which constitutional body recommends the sharing of taxes between the union and states? The Finance Commission, obviously. So it's a constitutional body, the Finance Commission. Distribution of tax revenue between the union and states is a function of Financial Commission. Principles governing grant in aid measures to improve the financial position of states. It's a function of Finance Commission. It is constituted by the President of India every 5 years under Article 280. Very important, right? 19th question. Which article of the Constitution provides for the establishment of the Finance Commission? Just discussed. 280. So see this one. 20th question. Which of the following is the correct ascending order of India's court hierarchy? So the district court, district level, high court at the state level, Supreme Court, the apex court at the national level. So this is the hierarchy. So given this one is the right answer. Okay. So districts and subordinate courts, then high courts, Supreme Court of India. This is the correct ascending order. From the lowest court to the highest court in the country. All right. So friends, this is the session for today. This is the basically these questions are framed in view of your upcoming examinations. These are very important. You'll see many of the questions in your upcoming examination. So if you like this video, kindly like this video, share to your friends and other aspirants also. And if you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe to our channel. Let's meet tomorrow with tomorrow's current affairs MCQs. That's all for today. Bye bye. Take care.